Hey all, check. Alright, yeah. Volume looks good. Yeah, I just kind of have a chill Friday and looking to play a game here. I have all sorts of games that are close to going off, so we'll get one pretty quick. I expect it's Agricola. This table is one away. This arena table is one away. Shmoo was waiting for one earlier, although now it looks like he maybe is not in the queue. No, he is in the queue, so that's probably the table I'm at. Also, one of the tables I'm at. I would be at a fast one at the moment, but which might mean that if I let this go too long, I'm gonna wind up at a normal speed Agricola table, which is probably fine because I'm not actually that fast at the moment. But I'll also have a Terra Mystica table. I wouldn't mind hitting the Terra Mystica table. Oh hey, did it kick me out of? I left the queue, so it kicked me off this table. Yeah, I don't want that. Let me in. Is that gonna kick me out of the queue? Oh nope, now I'm back in the queue. Okay. Well that's a this is a table. This is a table. Okay. Alright. Let's update quickly. We are streaming Agricola. Okay, updating stream title, sending out stream announcements, and then as usual we need to actually draft. Alright, it's been Agricola for a while too. I should really get a Terra Mystica game in this weekend, but Agricola today again. Okay. We are Agricola in. And oops, we need to change the view also. There we go. There we go. All right. Second seat, Bulldozer's in front of us, then Shmoo, then Soulless Robot. This is a very good table. We'll make the cards a bit bigger for the draft. And yeah, now to decide. So, some of the strong stuff here. There's Beer Table. Beer Table's very good. At the end of the field phase of each harvest, we can pay a grain to get 2 bonus points. The tough part is you have to play it for 2 wood before you have any grain in your supply, so a little annoying, but not bad. Mole Plow, very strong plow. Has requirements of just playing it late in the game, but does a lot. And a Sleeping Corner, so lots of good stuff. Aqua is a bit underwhelming, though. Although not, well, wait a sec. Field Caretaker, when we play this card, we can exchange 3 clay for 3 grain, and it counts as a field. This is how we can kickstart Beer Table very easily. So actually, Field Caretaker here, turning 3 clay into 3 grain, plus an extra field, then we actually sow a bunch of it for Beer Table. Alright, we gotta do this too. This is so much ceiling. Like, we can easily get 6 or 8 points off this card without too much effort. Give our opponents a bit of food, but whatever. Wow, a Haydryer, a Seducer. I'm a huge Haydryer fan, though. I think Haydryer is very strong. I'm not that big of a Seducer fan. Ale benches is another way to kick food to our opponents and gain bonus points ourselves. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not as big of a fan of ale benches because I feel like it's very expensive, but there's a world where we just sow a crap ton of grain and get tons of bonus points for it. I think this is always Haydryer. Haydryer is just very good. Even if it comes relatively late, playing a card that gives you like 2 or 3 cows, very good. Luxurious Hostel can be pretty strong, but it's very hard for us to leverage it here. Clay Supply is just generically useful. This maybe is just Clay Supply. Clay Supply is a great start player at a variety of points. It's easy to play, and we want a little bit of extra clay because of our card. I actually like this. I like this plan. Um, okay. Whoa. This is a strong draft, but Basket Carrier is also an excellent source of grain for our beer table shenanigans. Yeah, sorry, Basket Carrier. The Butler is funny with the Luxurious Hostel. There are some strong things. What's going on with Pack 3? Yeah, I mean, there's still a Furnisher and a Plowmaker. Like, this is wild. Like, Basket Carrier, Plowmaker, Furnisher are all very good. And then even like Ranch Provost is playable. I'm probably going to get Angler and Butler back. Butler would be strong if I actually had a way to build a bunch of rooms and abuse the Luxurious Hostel. Shifting Cultivation here is kind of nice to see too. Storeroom, if I'm planning to have tons of grain, I could try to get some veggies, but it's a little tricky. I'm also planning to have 3 grain fields relatively early. Getting 2 food a harvest from this thing that's free is pretty sweet, but I don't think it's currently the grab. It could just be to take the bread paddle. I think I almost certainly want to feed off baking, and so getting some extra bakes could be very useful. Use the basket carrier to get a bit of grain. Every time I ock, I can bake it into a clay oven. But what other ox are better? Field Watcher and Cow Prince. You can't think of too many others. Yeah, I mean, basket carrier, furnisher, plowmaker. I mean, there's like Mason. There's, but yeah, I mean, wood barterer. Like, there's definitely things I would take, but I agree these are pretty strong. So to pass them is kind of wild. I think it's gotta be I think I'm going basket carrier, bread paddle here. Grocer, yeah, grocer could get taken in front. That's a good call. I think this is the pick. Any of shifting cultivation, 3 field, like I have good miners coming back out of this pack. The Ock is gonna be. I wish I saw this Ock pack again because my god. But oh, we get a Plow Hero though. Plow Hero is essentially a Plow Maker. I'm very happy with a Plow Hero here. With a mole plow in the game, a Plow Hero, a Plow Maker, like yes, people need to plow in the plow space, but it shouldn't be that contested. I guess it's going to be kind of contested, but I think Plow Hero is very fine here. I don't really care about the rest of these cards. Bulldozer and passing plow. I mean, he passed a plow maker already too, Lumen. So yeah, I mean, like he can't take the inferior plow hero if he wasn't gonna take the plow maker. Upscale lifestyle. We get 5 clay and a reno action, and it doesn't matter how many rooms we have. I like this quite a bit, right? This is a good card. Actually, hand plow is pretty good here though too. I mean, I have Plow Hero for some plow help, but this is pretty good. I don't think I like Private Forest here. I think Basket Carrier is already food hungry, and I already have slight food issues. Feeding dish is a little more grain, which isn't awful, but kind of like hand plow. But I guess the question is, when does hand plow get played? I kind of have both clay supply and bread paddle that want to come a bit early, and beer table is gonna have to come down kind of early. So maybe this is upscale lifestyle for kind of later in the game. Although, gosh, it's asking to have a lot of wood, and then it's adding a lot of clay. I still like it. Whatever. I think I like it better than hand plow. I think hand plow timing's gonna be a little weird. This is a pretty strong draft. Like, the average card strength that we've seen is pretty high. Bulldozer has passed us, like, Haydryer, Basket Carrier, Plow Hero. Like, whatever they're taking is presumably pretty damn good. My pack was by far the weakest. Like, I first picked a Field Caretaker. Like, there's tons of clay injection, by the way. We see a clay supply, upscale lifestyle. I just passed the clay thing. There's a recycled brick. If we wanted even more clay. Firewood collector is not that great here with Plow Hero. Like, we're not taking anything that repeatedly, but I wouldn't hate having a little wood injection, but I think this is just going to be consultant. I don't anticipate building stables. I don't think I have a good enough reason to build stables, but I think being able to just ock with bread paddle and bake a grain and get some sheep is going to provide a good action for me in the future. Alright. Are we ever going to have exactly one pasture for claw knife? I think it's unlikely. I'm very likely to just fence a bunch. So then store of experience will often get me some random resource, which is okay. Wouldn't my supply greater than or equal to the current round? I pay 2 clay and a reed, and then I can change food into bonus points up to the harvest. This card always seems more exciting, I think, than it really is. I think it's too expensive, too hard to set up for our game plan. So then it's recycled brick or store of experience. Upside of recycled brick is that it could be bonus points if you ever go for a pottery, but it looks like pottery is pretty distraction here, even though I think there's a lot of clay in the game. So I'm just going to take the easy to play miner. Ale benches does come back, so we can go for absolute insanity in terms of grain points. It's probably the right play. I mean, although clearing spade is possibly funny here too. Although we would need a lot of fields. I don't know when we're gonna get and then we still what's the payoff beyond beer table? I mean, beer table's already strong enough. I don't know if we use ale benches, but it's fun to think about. District manager is a kind of interesting way to try to feed, but I'm not sure it's good enough. This guy, not necessarily good enough, not necessarily good enough. Which of these ox are we ever going to play? I wish I had some decent stuff just to play late with our bread paddle, basically. Sculptor, just because we want a bit more grain? I don't anticipate needing to use Riverine Shepherd for much. We're already generating a lot of reed, and I'm probably not going to try to eke out a BMW. District manager can be okay food, but God, it works so infrequently. But I guess even if it works once, it's useful. And we potentially get to take wood, and then block the district manager once we have 3 people. Butler Angler came back as expected. I'm never playing Angler. I can't really imagine we're ever playing Butler either, though. Like, how am I ever going to have extra rooms? But sure. Alright, the toilet is good bonus points. But who is going to have... I have to play it when nobody has 5 cards in front of them. Is that at all likely to occur? I think the answer is it's not likely to occur, and I think the answer is I want fields badly enough to say, like, before my plow hero even gets into play, like, I might just want more fields to plant stuff in faster. I think it's much more likely to get played than I'm gonna wind up playing the toilet, so... This is a weird hand. I think our main path to winning is farming well, so that'll be interesting. Did we change the prerequisites for toilet too? Yeah. Yeah, the toilet's a little different than it used to be. Ock gets taken. I mean, the Ox are strong enough. I guess that shouldn't be that shocking. Animal breeder, though, interesting. I mean, animal breeder can be pretty good, but that's not necessarily what I expect. I guess I take reedstone food here. I mean, basket care is not going to give... Basket care only gives me 1 reed, so... We probably want that clay for field caretaker versus toilet. Yeah, that's a little bit of the issue. I think I just take RSF here. There are still some worlds where I use upscale lifestyle and I just build clay rooms anyhow also. But it's hard for me to pass on reedstone food versus expensive Ock, but... Ooh, Shmoo's playing Plowmaker early. I am actually really happy to see this, because it suggests that Shmoo is going to plow early. And if somebody is plowing early, it makes it easier for me to do plow hero stuff when I actually want to plow hero. So then we hopefully don't butt heads as much. Plus, again, there's still a mole plow in the draft somewhere. So, like, there's definitely going to be some fights for plows, even with all the plow help. Bulldozer starts, how shocking. Foreign aid with the small animal breeder. That's a slightly bold foreign aid, but it looks like I just do classic me stuff, just take room parts, because that's what the table's giving me. I could take 2 clay, arguing I'm going to try to build clay stuff. Cesspit alert? Oh, Plowmaker Cesspit. Mm, that's fun. That's a fun thought, Lumen, yeah. Um, yeah, this is a lot of early food ejection from Bulldozer. Like, what is Bulldozer doing with all this food? Like, playing Foreign Aid and Animal Breeder in round 1 is kind of doubling down on needing all this food. But I'll be curious what it leads to. Um, I'm probably free-ocking here. 4 clay got left. That's excellent news for me, too, actually. There's lots of good action spaces, although I don't want the 2 reed, but presumably somebody else wants the 2 reed, and I'm going to get 3 wood or 4 clay back, which is actually really awesome. Or expensive Ock. I might get expensive Ock back in some worlds. I mean, the draft was pretty good, but I actually don't need to rush these cards out very much. Like, all I really want to play in stage 1 is Basket Carrier. So maybe I just take 3 wood here. Lover is worth picking over those. Yeah, that's true. Could be a lover play, I guess. But lover with foreign aid? This is not you don't play foreign aid with a lover, do you? I wouldn't, but I guess you get to play the lover early because of the foreign aid, but yikes, that's very limiting. Or do I just take 4 clay? I mean, it's late animals, so I guess the 4 clay is not that good. But long term, I love the 4 clay. For clay oven, I'm still tempted to just upscale lifestyle, build rooms. Maybe I just take 4 clay. I don't know. I don't know what the right move was there. We're assuming Smooth is going to start player Cesspit. I think Lumen's correct. This is probably Cesspit. You would have 4 clayed also? Okay. Yeah, I think there's enough value there. I have enough uses and flexibility for it. 2 reed got taken. Informant. Ooh, that's a good card, but it needs a stone, right? So Robot wants to start at RSF. We do get expensive Ock back, so that was a decent read by us that we shouldn't have pushed the Ock out. So yeah, this is looking pretty good. I mean, we're expecting Cesspit, very early Cesspit. Cool plan from Shmoo. Soulless Robot wants RSF. That's a huge Cesspit, by the way. I mean, this is absurd, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clay, 6 boar. Like, what a nutty card. But day labor from Soulless Robot. Holy smokes, we are injecting food also, team. I mean, Shmoo and I are hungry, but I'm not that. No, I am hungry because of basket carrier, but 4 wood. I would love one of these 3 wood actions, and I'm getting one. Perfect. Not as cool as Task Artist to see in the cesspit, but it's fine. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm taking one of these 3 wood actions. Just kind of gathering room parts, right? I mean, the 3 wood still could be like start player upscale lifestyle. I mean, I have to pay for the reno with this card, but like it's still turning 3 wood into 5 room parts, and I build rooms that are more valuable. And I still think there's a ton of clay in this game. Like, ooh, salt or cesspit. That's fun. Am I hearth or oven are undecided? You might have missed. I'm like sitting in a weird world, right? I don't totally know. Like my instinct was to just clay oven with the bread paddle. And I'm gonna sew a decent bit because of all the beer stuff that I have, but Private Forest comes down with the informant. So you remember when I talked about kind of wanting to start player here? I can't. I think I'm just taking 3 food then. 3 food's not that bad here. Ranch Provost gets played. That's a bit gross. I'm not contesting that. Yeah, I think this is just 3 food. There was an angler in the draft, and they like fishing to be. No, wait, angler fell out of the draft. Let's probably take fishing. There's a drift net boat somewhere. Yeah. Um, yeah, this looks clean. Anyhow, yeah, Lumen, I don't know how to feed for sure. I feel like clay oven is probably the answer, but hearth is very tempting. Also, I've missed the fact that Shmoo is a little dangerous on food here, but maybe Bulldozer's on a collector? I don't know what Bulldozer's doing for sure. Bulldozer has lots of food and has a foreign aid, so we'll see what it turns into. Shmoo kind of needs the 4 food action pretty badly. Um, but, I mean, presumably he gets it. Like, I could take it, but I don't know if it makes much sense. Soulless Robot playing a Water Worker, adding Reed to the game. Interesting. It's not what I would have expected. I might just take RSF here if I'm allowed to, right? And then I build... Well, Bulldozer's taking RSF and building the first room, right? Surely. I say surely, but who really knows? Wow, yeah, no. Oh, okay, Bulldozer takes 2 Reed. I mean, I take RSF here. Traveling for the chaos. Yeah, I just don't need to kick Shmoo, really. Like, I don't think that provides me enough value. And if I take RSF here, RSF allows me to start player upscale lifestyle into building Clay Room at the start of round 5. I mean, Bulldozer's going to build here, but I might just start player the upscale lifestyle into build Clay Room. I don't see a lot else I need to do. I mean, Hearth, I guess, because nobody's fighting for the sheep. Shmoo takes the food that he's glad that, yeah, nobody messed with. Soulless Robot has room parts, which is part of the advantage of start player here. I mean, Shmoo's very close to room parts. I assume Shmoo follows this up with a 3 wood action. Bulldozer builds. The board is jacked next round, by the way. There's going to be 6 clay, 5 clay, 4 wood. But everybody has room parts. I think I'm supposed to just get into the room. I think I'm supposed to just get my room in here. Bulldozer has first room anyhow, so like Bulldozer will squat, probably. And then I just grow second. I'm going to get a good action back next. Well, okay, so wood gets taken, and then it could go like 4 wood, 6 clay, 5 clay. But then I get fireplace back. I'll have enough after doing this. I'll have 9 clay, less 2 reno build. I'll still have 2 clay. I can build the fireplace. Informant taking clay? Oh yeah, good point. Soulless Robot's probably not taking clay, so I probably just get clay back, and then I can still just do the clay oven line. I'm gonna upscale lifestyle. Yeah, I like this. Basket Carrier is gonna give me the read I need in order to build this clay room. And we just build a clay room. Shmoo takes wood as expected. Given everybody has room parts, I'm definitely just gonna build here. If I had 1 more wood, I would almost consider building stables, because I think I'm getting the sheep, but... If I want the sheep. I don't even know if I want the sheep. I mean, the sheep are good, but the clay oven is still very useful too. I'm at this awkward point, right? Beer table's always awkward, because I need to get rid of this grain in order to play beer table. Growth does not flip, which is probably better for me ultimately, actually. I don't think I wanted to see growth. I still want to be in on the room queue, but... Which actually, a bulldozer might start. It depends on how much he fears me starting. I guess I could start clay supply, and then I would be able to play bread paddle. Oh yeah, actually starting is pretty good for me too if I get start back. But yeah, just building this clay room looks good. Anyhow, the reason start player back's pretty good is I can SP clay supply into, if I have to, SP bread paddle or grow bread paddle into build clay oven. And then there's a brief little period where I can beer table in round 7. However, if I get 5 clay back, which seems reasonably likely, I probably just snap 5 clay. 5 clay also, like, yeah, gives me the clay I need for field caretaker, for oven, for, like, yeah, the stuff I want to be doing. Given that growth didn't flip, I think I already should have a very strong game if I just focus from here on feeding and farming. I think I can get enough bonus points off beer table, and with hay dryer and plow hero stuff, I can fill my farm. I can get a good number of animals. I can get a good amount of crop point stuff, but we'll see. You think Shmoo can just fence here somewhat legitimately? Upscale is very good for Shmoo. That's true. Upscale is very good for Shmoo. Now that you say that, I forgot. I passed that, but actually, that looks really, yeah. Upscale is a very interesting option for Shmoo. You're right. So fencing here for Shmoo is really interesting because then he gets the sheep back. He can salt some of them, and he can be breeding animals. That does look great. If start doesn't get taken, do we take it? That's what I was debating. That's what gets really confusing to figure out here, actually. Um, I think the answer is actually no, because I think if start, well, again, it depends on what I get back. I think if I'm offered 5 clay, I'm taking it. I think. I just don't care about fighting for first growth that hard, especially because I get second growth, right? That's the main thing. Like, if I'm not fighting, Bulldozer presumably is growing, and he'll, like, if grow comes late, Bulldozer can grow in 7, I grow in 8, and I still think I'm in a very strong spot for the game at that point. However, I talked about the path I have, and my starting path is pretty good here. Start player clay supply into either start or grow bread paddle, into clay oven, into beer table is a good sequence for really getting my game, like the next parts of my game in place. Robot does choose to play an Ock rather than take the big stacks. Plays a Porter. I think Porter is really bad with Informant because you mostly want to take Clay with Porter. And you don't want to take Clay with Informant. So I don't really like how Soulless Robot's playing this game. I also think Water Worker is incredibly questionable. I think Private Forest is kind of questionable also. Like, why are you putting food pressure on yourself? When you already have an informant, right? You already have so much wood. I guess they had to start player in order to get the stone. No, they didn't actually. They got RSF without starting. I don't necessarily agree with what they're doing, but it's fine. All right, 6 clay to Bulldozer. So Bulldozer chooses not to start in terms of fighting growth, and so I am left with multiple options. I can fireplace and probably get the huge sheep stack. I can do the start player line and get first growth. Wow, actually, Soulless Robot and Shmoo did not build a. Oh no, I built the room. Duh. What am I talking about? Nobody built a room. Duh. Of course they can't. Okay, wait. Do I actually take 5 clay? Maybe I don't take 5 clay. I eventually need clay, but I don't need clay that fast. I do need a lot of food though, right? See, this is part of the problem. Basket Carrier is so food hungry. Basket Carrier is so food hungry. That's where just building the fireplace here solves things for a while. But does it actually accelerate my game in the right way? Maybe, though. I don't really have to feed off grain this game, right? There is enough. Partly because I have hay dryer. Store of Experience is the 3rd clay right now. It's fun. That's why I can definitely start here though. Like, oh, it's such a mess. All right, I'm getting first growth if I start player. I can squat. I can successfully squat this game if I have to, right? We talked about this. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Why take a 5 clay action when I have clay supply? I would prefer growth to flip now next round, I think. I think growth flipping goes very well for me. Because if growth flips, I grow, Shmoo builds, Bulldozer starts, so then I get the first real action of round 7, which probably is like 4 wood, I guess. Maybe it's not that exciting, but Shmoo is going to go for the fencing, though. We'll be very interested here how much he's fencing. Just fences 6, because he still has room parts, but he's getting the sheep, yeah. Okay. Very cool. Now, though not guaranteedly getting the sheep. This is awkward for Shmoo, because Bulldozer can hearth here. And if Bulldozer hearths, then Shmoo has to decide. But wow, Bulldozer just takes all the clay, and now there's a giant wood pile. Okay. Okay. Growth does flip, so that's at least kind of good news, though. I guess it's more than kind of good news. It's just good news. Growth flipping is what we wanted. We don't really want to squat. Okay. I think this is bread paddle. Bread paddle sets our game up more than a single clay does. Alright, we got first growth out of this. Can't be too bad. Shmoo does build... Oh, and he is getting the sheep back. That's very convenient for Shmoo. Yeah, this looks really nice, actually. Shmoo getting to salt 2 sheep and have breeding sheep going. And still has the plowmaker down and is growing 3rd. I like Shmoo's position. 6 wood to Soulless Robot, though. Can't be too bad. Plus Porter, so already 7 wood in a food. That's certainly good. Bulldozer starts as they're supposed to, and yeah, that's fine. Bulldozer gets a hand plow down in time. That's certainly good with foreign aid. I build clay oven here, because that solves most of what I want to do. We get the clay oven down. My next round is probably something like 4 wood into hopefully be allowed to play the beer table, because I'll have a brief period with no grain in the supply. And then so yeah, 4 wood, play beer table, and probably unfortunately have to take a bit of food in order to fuel basket carrier. Still, we're very hungry. We're very hungry. So we appreciate everybody else adding food to the game. Unfortunately, Soulless Robot takes the 4 food action I was hoping for. Although they're redeciding. It does look like Soulless Robot should just settle for double build. Wow, they might be triple building, though. Beer table timing pretty easy now. Can just Ock right before. Oh, I don't have to play it next round. Oh, interesting. Yeah, because of bread paddle, I can Ock it any time in the next stage. I don't have to force it this round. That part's true. Okay, I like that. I do like that, because, yeah, okay. Anyhow, I'm taking 4 wood, right? Do I take 3 stone ever here? I don't think I take 3 stone. I think farming's too valuable to me. I think just take 4 wood. Yeah, I want to take every 4 wood action I'm offered, and this might be the only 4 wood action I get this whole game, because I don't anticipate getting 4 wood back. Like, Soulless Robot should snap the wood offer, I think. It's possible fishing was the move in your opinion, because I want the food so bad, and because I would get 4 wood back. That's an interesting thought. Wow, and 4 food does get taken. Okay, see, I did not anticipate this. I did not foresee that from Soulless Robot. I never expected that. I don't understand what Soulless... I guess Soulless Robot's accepting they're just building later, and they have no food source. Okay, fine, whatever. I didn't... Yeah, I legitimately did not anticipate that, and I guess that's my bad. Guess that's my bad. You thought Bulldozer was taking it for small animal breeder. I see. Yeah, I also kind of forget about small animal breeder because I just don't try that hard to keep it going by the time we're talking about rounds 8 and 9. But I guess it would have been very reasonable for them to do that. So, fair enough. Okay, so options that we do have. We pretty much have to basket carrier. So unfortunately, I pretty much have to take this 3 food action. So that part is the bad news. Soulless has furniture. Oh, wow. Wait. Yeah, actually, you're right. Soulless Robot has furniture. So Soulless Robot needed food because they still need to Ock. Yeah, this porter's actually very questionable. But you're right. They're furnishing stuff. Bulldozer takes that. That's fine. Okay. Interesting thought here. Do I ever get a giant woodpile if I start player? What chump hasn't played Furniture yet? Yeah, I mean, it's obviously Soulless Robot, but yeah, that's a good call. I forgot Furniture was in the draft. Clearly, Soulless Robot's playing Furniture here. So the fact that Soulless Robot's playing Furniture, I have a District Manager line. Oh, wow, I do have a District Manager line. Oh, that's actually fascinating, too, because my food is kind of a problem. I can feed via District Manager in order to fuel. Oh wow, actually yeah, that's very good. I get Ock blocked? Probably not. No, yeah, actually the district manager is actually coming out here. I was thinking about getting the beer table out, but yeah, no, the district manager is like very good here. Yeah, clearly. I was considering just taking 3 food and then hoping to start player into 6 wood, but because then I could get the beer table out. But no, yeah, this is slick. We already have 9 wood. So I'm getting close to being able to hay dry already pretty rapidly too, which would be excellent. I might get 6 clay next round, which it also sounds pretty nice, because I would not mind having a hearth plus the oven. Yeah. I don't know what Shmoo does here, I guess. So the awkward part is if Shmoo decides to Ock. I think Soulless Robot's always Ocking out of Furniture. Clay better for Patch Caregiver than Hearth. I mean, I definitely need clay for the field caretaker. Yes, I'm well aware of that. But what I'm saying is, if I get 6 clay, I still have clay coming from clay supply. Yeah, I know you meant field caretaker, but I have clay coming from clay supply, so I would have enough clay for the hearth and yeah, exactly. I can do both. I can field caretaker. Like if I get 6 clay, I can field caretaker and have a hearth. Unfortunately, I'm gonna get Ock blocked. Going to get Ock blocked because Pure Breeder's coming down. Yep, Ock blocked. That was a concern. So this is where now I wish I had taken 3. I had just start player beer table. Okay, I think I have to take 3 food, but it means Bulldozer's gonna get 6 clay if they want it. Ugh, yep. Yep. Bulldozer's building. Oh, Soulless Robots fucked this up. I see. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. I guess I have to take 3 food. It's too valuable to me. It's really a food, reed, grain, wood action, which I absolutely need. What? What was I supposed to do here? What am I messing up? I'm gonna Ock Plowmaker before Field Caretaker? Yeah, I'm Ocking Plowmaker before Field Caretaker. I get it. The beer table timing is still really awkward here too. I have issues. Yeah. I'm aware that I have some issues, which is why I followed chat's advice to go for the district manager because it was so fun, but it does look like I should have just start player beer table. To be honest. And then just sucked up my 3 food, but That was not advice. Fair enough. It's fine. I'm also just being sassy. I really liked trying to get the district manager sneaking in there. I thought it was gonna work too, but I didn't think hard enough about the fact that Soulless Robot was guaranteedly Ocking. So that Porter sure hurts. I mean, the Porter was always questionable. Like Soulless Robot effing this up though and letting Bulldozer jump is really bad. But you refuse to take an iota of responsibility from it. You shouldn't. Yeah, you should not take any responsibility. You absolutely shouldn't. You forgot if beer table works if I've sown 3 fields. Oh, it is no grain in supply. That's a good point, Sid. Yeah. If all my grain is sown, that also just solves the problem. So, anyhow, I am going to take 6 clay. I think I like the idea too much of having hearth and stuff long term. Also, maybe a future clay. It could just be a future. It might be a future room, I guess, is also a theory. Because I'm still producing reed that I don't really need. Food is definitely a little awkward. I can caretaker first, it's fine. Caretaker 3 clay into 3 grain, plowmaker, bake 1, and then plow 2 and so. I mean, all of that sounds pretty good. Whatever you just said, I like a lot of whatever it sounded like. Plow hero being not plowmaker is annoying? Oh, for sure. But I do think it's time to get Plow Hero down because I know there's a mole plow coming and there's going to be plow fights. So I think I gotta play Plow Hero now in order to be able to use Plow Hero at the start of next round. It's time to be ready for Plow Hero. Should just ban Plow Hero? No, that makes no sense. Plow Hero's fine, guys. It's all good. If I'm sowing, the order doesn't really matter. I mean, I need to have Plow Hero in play, though, because I have to plow first action. So it does matter that I'm playing Plow Hero here. I do think I should be sowing also, right? Like, I probably should be getting Beer Table going this harvest and then setting up the hay dryer in this harvest. I'm not getting double Ock, though, so, Animal Reeve. Oof, okay. It's better in case I get blocked. Oh, you don't have to follow the order. Yeah. Okay. I'm probably just hearthing then. Oh, I start player beer table is what I would have done. I would have played beer table, but I can't play beer table because Soulless Robot is finally realizing they have to protect their growth. So that's, yeah. I could just major minor beer table. Nope, I can't hearth or major minor beer table. Bulldozer gets the hearth. No, Bulldozer gets the well. Okay, we're in some trouble, team, because we're left with garbage. Absolute garbage suddenly. This game is not quite going according to script. Partly I'm not paying enough attention to my opponents, probably. But, yeah, maybe I wasn't supposed to Ock first, actually. Yeah, I probably wasn't supposed to Ock first. Probably was supposed to foresee this could happen. Although I couldn't beer table, and I really just wanted to beer table, probably. I can plow 1 field. Actually, plow 1 field is maybe okay here. It's really sad that this is not plowmaker if I'm plowing 1 field, but plow 1 field's still probably my best action. I think plowing's still my best action. But this is sad. All right, my round is now... What is my round? My next round maybe should still be plow, even though I don't really have to now. But it very reasonably... Well, or I should be taking wood. I need wood, right? I should be taking... Well, Soulless Robot should just be opening 4 wood. Or they're gonna open clay and kill their informants and barely feed. Oh, it's because they want to furnish a hearth probably. Yeah, actually they want to furnish the hearth is what they're gonna do. Okay, so they're gonna furnish the hearth and try to start taking the animals, which makes sense. Beer table into field caretaker into sow bake. It's definitely possibly the line. However, I'm not actually convinced I should be beer tabling when I get offered 4 wood. Bulldozer looks very far ahead. Oh, Bulldozer's clearly far ahead. Plow is now or never. I mean, that's the other problem. If I don't plow, I might not. I don't know when. Like, it gets tough. I agree. This is my easiest time to plow, but this is also my easiest time to take 4 wood. Um, like, I need a bunch of wood still for beer table and fencing. Like, I think it has to be 4 wood, and then Akka to sow. But I'm just behind. That's really the answer. I'm behind where I need to be, and Bulldozer's just gonna crush. I mean, Bulldozer maybe runs into food issues, I guess, is the dream, but like Bulldozer still can just hearth into the sheep. Well, he has to grow this round. I don't know what's happening. I think it's 4 wood oxo. 4 wood oxo. Yeah, I think that's what I like the most. I have a lot I want to do, and it's trouble. It's trouble is the answer, but Soulless Robot finally builds in round 9. It'll be interesting if Soulless Robot builds 4 rooms, because I was about to say they might have the luxurious hostel, but now it'll be curious to see what improvements they're taking. They discarded a clay? Oh, they discarded clay because, okay, they're just getting ready. They build a hearth, that makes sense. They also build BMW, so my potentially future dreams on that were gone, but whatever. And a wood slide hammer. Oh, well, that's gross. That's gross. Instead of hearth, building clay room. I agree that clay room was definitely one of the considerations and part of why I thought it was okay to pick up that clay stack. That was one of the things that I mentioned. And I probably should build a clay room at this point, although the growth queue is also a mess. All right. Soulless Robot taking BMW with Water Worker, and the fact there's a patch caretaker in the game, or basket carrier in the game makes sense, but yeah. I think we're losing this one, team. That's how it feels. Bulldozer doesn't have to grow this action, but chooses to with Drift Net Boat, and he's going to fish? I mean, that is a way to feed, but I'm surprised this wasn't Hearth and Sheep. Yeah, Soulless Robot's actually going to get a big sheep action, so cool, good for them. But I get my Aachen to sow at least, which I definitely need. How does he hearth sheep and grow? He would have needed to not open whatever he did. He took a bunch of reed. I guess he needed reed for driftnet boat, but I'm not convinced Bulldozer needed to open this round 3 reed. That's mainly where I'm at. I thought Bulldozer was just going to open this round with a hearth, because long term I'm not convinced Bulldozer is feeding very well. I guess he's going to driftnet boat every round, but that doesn't really seem to be a way to take advantage of what he has, but you have no idea what he took reed for, but I agree, he no longer had an option. I'm talking about the overall rounds that I mean, I agree, he obviously couldn't hear, but I'm just confused about some things. Also, I'm like never playing beer table, right? Yeah, I'm like never going to get beer table in play. He could just rental pottery right now. That's true, he could just rental pottery, that would be good. Shmoo's going to finish fencing, that's definitely good. Am I just never beer tabling, team? I don't really love that answer, but it's kind of looking like we were never beer tabling, which is also a problem. I guess I can still try to set it up where I sow bake again next stage. That maybe is the answer, right? I'm going to harvest 2 grain. I'm going to get a grain for basket carrier. I plow 2 more fields and then I sow bake, getting 2 more grain fields and a bake action, and then I can play beer table. But yikes, this is going off the rails at that point. That sounds a bit circuitous, but I mean, because it is a bit circuitous. Okay, Bulldozer does reno pottery. Okay, so he's feeding off pottery and driftnet boats. Fair enough. He also, yeah. Okay, and I'm so baking. Next round, I'm opening with plow, presumably, as much as I want the 3 wood. But it's gonna need to be plow. Yeah, it needs to be plow. I can still beer table. I just have to eat raw grain or oct twice. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I like the plan. Why do I want 3 wood? I only need 2 more, right? I'm at 15. Oh, you're right. I do only need 2 more. I do only need 2 more because basket carrier. Forget about basket carrier's little wood boost. Okay. Maybe this isn't all bad then. This is not all bad actually. This game's still not quite where we want it, but I hopefully can enter this animal reeve fight in time. I mean, Bulldozer has some wood issues. I'm gonna be fencing fairly early. I mean, it might be hard for me to get animal pairs, although I really just need to get a pair of boars in like round whatever, because I have consultant and haydryer. So I should be able to hit this animal reeve bonus points, which should be big. Shmoo still potentially maxing sheep. Shmoo's doing stuff for sure. Oh, did Shmoo take all the sheep and salt? Oh, Shmoo took all the sheep and salted them. Cool. Makes sense. So, Soulless Robot's probably opening the round with the 2 boar, because Soulless Robot's food also sucks. Otherwise. Okay. Yeah, I think plow sow beer table is actually a pretty decent sequence for me this round. Plow sow bake into beer table is okay. Plow 2 wood fence is like a pretty decent sequence otherwise too. It just has to be plow to start. I have to start using this plow. There's way too much plow pressure at this table at this point. We haven't seen the mole plow. I assume the mole plow is with Soulless Robot. Soulless Robot grows first, chooses not to take the boar, and plays Trellis. That's very greedy. But I guess Shmoo doesn't have to take the pigs, but yeah. 3 stone, that's fine. I get double plow. That's the goal. Plowy, plow, plow. I'm a little surprised Bulldozer's taking stone instead of wood. We do still have this ranch provost roaming around too. But, alright. I pretty much had to do that. Soulless Robot does get the pigs. Shmoo is taking more wood, so Shmoo's going to contest stables. 3 stone moves, interesting. Mason. Yeah, actually, it almost has to be Mason. Yeah, good call. This is a Mason. We were wondering why we got past so many good cards, and we were trying to come up with what cards you would keep. You would keep a Mason. I mean, Bulldozer's revealed no. Like, why do I have a haydryer and a basket carrier? He has not revealed those answers yet. You think I should fence plus Ock, or I should sow here? Rather than SP beer table, the SP is unexciting. I should just try to start player the beer table in 11. That actually is true. I should just SP the beer table in 11. I'm happy to take 3 wood here. Bulldozer just took more clay. I think I just take 3 wood then. I take 3 wood into sow, and then next round I aim to just start player with beer table aggressively. I want haydryer down anyways. Maybe. I also want beer table down, right? Like okay, how do I win this game, right? The way I win this game, in my estimation, is I pretty much have to. I have to hit Animal Reef for 5 points, and I need like 6 point beer table, right? I have to sow before Ock anyways, no food. Yeah. But anyhow, I feel like the only way I win this game is to probably get 6 points off beer table, get 5 points off Animal Reef. You would consider sowing now because I don't need the wood. See, I'm tempted to 3 wood into sow, into beer table, into fence. Nobody's sowing. All right, I mean, just nobody's sowing here. 3 wood, sow, fence, Ock, beer table are probably my ideal 5 moves. I agree with that. I'm not sure I get all of it either. But I think I'm going to go 3 wood, sow. I think that's just what I'm doing. And maybe it's wrong, but it's what I'm going to do. My food, admittedly, is still like such an issue. I mean, long term, this is where like I'm still possibly gonna just pay for the 5 clay hearth. I don't know if I have time for the room anymore at any point. The room queue is also actually just awful, right? Like it still is just gross. Like Soulless Robot still wants to grow a bunch. Bulldozer probably is masoning. Like it's just. And this is a 4 and 8 actually. I don't want to build a room. I'm getting easy growth without, right? Because of 4 and 8 and a 5-room house, I'm in such a great position to just get growth without anyhow. I'm probably not going to take the actions to build, which is also an issue, but I definitely want to sow this round. Round 11 start is juicy enough. You mean the room is not worth it? Yeah, I agree that the room's not worth it the more I look at it. But I mean, again, that leaves me a narrow path to winning, right? Because I'm probably never renovating. I don't think I have the time to renovate. So I think my path to winning is probably I have to pull off the sequence we talked about. I'm gonna need to sow, and then I've gotta hope next round I get start player, Ock, and fences, which is tricky. Which actually leaves a big question here, right? I can sow 2 grain, but then I don't have a grain to bake when I Ock. So, but then I can't play beer table easily. But I also can't then pay for patch. Do I need to pay for basket carrier anymore? Wait a sec. I don't have to play basket carrier anymore to win this game, right? I win by beating Shmoo through growth and beer table and hoping Bulldozer and Soulless don't get Animal Reeve, and I do. I agree. That's how I have to win. Okay. I do want to Ock pretty badly though, and I want food when I Ock, and I don't care about sow baking later. Am I only sow? I think I'm only sowing 1. I mean, this is really betting on that I have to. I guess I could throw the grain out if I have to. This is tough though, because now I have to Ock before I can start player. But maybe I just don't need to start next round. Ugh. I can't open beer table if I sow here and you don't like that. So you think I should just Ock here? Or if I sow 1. Yeah, I agree. The problem is I can sow 1. Oh, I can't Ock. Oh, I can Ock here, right? Why does it not let me Ock? This is after? Yeah, okay. This is, I have to sow 2. I think I do want beer table. I think it's necessary in order to win, so I agree. I think I just have to do this, and I just accept that the Ock doesn't 2-stage beer table otherwise. It's so awkward, right? I think this is better. I don't need basket curry anymore as part of it, right? So like I really don't need that much food. I can eat raw grain. It's a little ugly for sure, but why does beer table not give me a food? Ignore table, build stables. Yeah, I was debating that, but I don't think I get enough wood for stables. I don't think I have enough actions to fight it, and I don't think I can fight the ranch provost. I think unfortunately Shmoo's probably gonna get provost because Shmoo's fighting for it. But I think this is fine. It's definitely not great, but I think it's fine. I should easily get fences next round. I don't even think that's actually a problem. Oh, I do have to Ock though now next round. So now my food does suck if I have to expensive Ock. Problems. Do I have to Ock next round? Wait a sec. As good as Ocking next round is, do I actually have to do it? It causes me to take a cow action that I don't really want to take. But maybe I don't have to Ock. If everyone fences, the last defense gets provost. Yeah, that's probably true. Bulldozer might just be getting a pretty easy provost by just, yeah, Bulldozer's just going to fence gigantic. It seems unlikely Bulldozer's getting completely wood starved. Like, how, like, there are still 4 rounds to go, and who's taking all the wood? I mean, a soulless robot should still take, like, people take some wood. Wow, okay. It's a bunch of wood in the game. I forgot there's a skillful renovator. That's some wood. Soulless robot. Oh, bulldozer builds. Wait, bulldozer just building a clay room. So it's not Mason? Wait a second. Or it is Mason, and we have a luxurious hostel, which would be pretty gross. I don't know what it is, but soulless robot has to grow first action then, so that's fun. So the bulldozer's probably taking 4 wood, and I just start player the beer table. I mean, I set all this up. I have to start player beer table, right? I put way too much effort into this dumb beer table to not do this. But my food is Sketchville. All right, we're gonna start player beer table. Give everybody some food. But we at least get a bunch of bonus points. There is the mole plow for soulless robot as expected, so that's now a thing. Bulldozer's just opening the food, not even the wood, because need the drift net food too bad. Fair enough. I will just get this here beer table out. Shmoo takes plow with plowmaker. Okay. Understandable. He needs to start plowing. A little sad that it's not the wood, but oh well. Soulless robot's going to get a boosted wood action. That's very handy for them. Yep. Yep. All right. I probably I should just fence, I guess. If I don't get Haydryer, I can do other things. But if I play Haydryer and then I get fence blocked, it's mega sadness. I don't think I'm trying to fight Provost. I think Provost is a mistake. I think I need to just fence like this and then fill up with 4. I need 4 sheep, 4 cows, and at least 4 pigs. So I think it's got to just be this. There's too many bonus points on that Provost that I have to worry about. Shmoo takes the cow he needs, makes tons of sense, gets him a grain. That's a huge move for him. I will eat 2 raw grain this harvest in order to play Haydryer here, just because Haydryer gives me all the cows I need, so it saves me a lot of actions. Yeah, I gotta just play Haydryer here. And then I probably actually open next round with 2 pigs. Even if growth flips, I think I gotta take 2 pigs next round because of the animal reeve, and because of the trellis. Like, getting pigs is super hard. I'm actually just opening 2 pigs like always, right? I mean, unless Bulldozer takes a single pig this round, which is conceivable because the board's drying up fast. Which, if Bulldozer takes single pig, there's some issues for me, actually. Bulldozer just bottom feeding some more. Again, I will eat a raw. I'll eat a raw grain here to get the hay dryer down. Free cows is too good. Free cows is future food if I ever have time to play a hearth. But yeah. Okay, this is something for us at least. Oh, also, team. We're watching Shmoo do this, but remember when we were slightly worried about growth without? Shmoo has a sleeping corner. We definitely passed sleeping corner, and Shmoo clearly has it. So yeah, chimney sweep for bulldozer, cute. Yeah, I'm taking 2 pigs to open this next round. Then 2 pigs locks up animal reef for me. So yeah, that's easy. I basically paid 2 food for the privilege of being able to start first action. That's not terrible. Yeah, I agree. It's necessary. Like, it sucks because I'm consuming a ton of my grain here, but hopefully we just get a bunch of grain in the ground right at the end. Like, I would love around 14 plow so that's definitely a consideration. But yeah. Pigs are crucial. Yeah, I have to open 2 pigs here. Pigs, it's way too valuable. With animal reeve and my fences, the 2 pigs are just a bajillion points. By a bajillion, it's a 8-point action or something. Like, I have consultant in hand for the sheep, so like either I wheel 3 sheep, which is possible, or I can just play consultant at some point. And I already have my cows figured out because of hay dryer. So all I have to do is figure out pigs, and then I hit the animal reeve bonus. So yeah, hitting animal reef bonus is absolutely critical. I need 1 more plow action at least. Eventually, building a hearth is on the list of kind of desires. Taking a veg, I guess, is important eventually, and getting some growth without. That's how we try to win this game. But it's looking okay. I mean, I'm gonna score upper 40s. Plow so flips, it's not growth, so that's a little sad because Shmoo is probably starting with Shmoo's gonna start player sleeping corner at some point this round. Shmoo's also gonna get plow so here, but it's all right. We will hopefully plow hero soon. But the pigs are absolutely mandatory, 100% mandatory. I will just take 3 sheep because it's an excellent food action and it makes it a lot harder for anybody else to do animal reeve. Like, bulldozer and soulless not getting animal reeve, I think means I'm just not as scared about their. Like, I thought bulldozer was ahead, but this looks really bad now. Like, how does bulldozer win from here? I guess he still has a mason, maybe, and a luxurious hostel, but it just doesn't look like he's doing anywhere near enough farming in time for it to matter. But I could be wrong. Soulless Robot has a huge reno eventually with wood slide and has fences. And could double plow here instead of growing. I mean, the fact these two are still fighting for growths is a little crazy. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Things are okay here. Not incredible. I would love plow so in the final round. So maybe I start player a shifting cultivation in 13. But they're fighting for grow and plow. Yeah, did we see chimney sweep? We did not see chimney sweep. And I don't remember small animal breeder, but he still has a thing that's gone. The mason reed. Yeah, I mean, I agree. He might not have mason, but I'm still trying to figure out what he does have then. This doesn't look mason. I think it's mason plus luxurious hostel. That's my read. There was a luxurious hostel in the draft. I think this is mason and luxurious hostel. That's what I think this has to be. Bulldozer does choose to grow. I get plow back, but this is where plow hero sucks. I can't plow, but I don't get the sheep. Could be the grocer. His food sucks. If it's grocer, I mean, he's still in big trouble. Octime? I once again have no food. Right? Oddly enough, I can't ock. I forgot about that, but it causes serious issues here. Like, build and grow. We're never getting grow that way. I think I'm hearth. I think I'm building a hearth. I think I have to hearth. And then I guess maybe I'm taking it. Maybe I'm taking this pig and hearth. I think I have to build the hearth first. I don't know if it comes back. But yeah, this is definitely a bit awkward. This is awkward, but Shmoo is not starting. He's gonna reno the sleeping corner, because why would you start player when you don't care? So in crazy worlds, I stay start player, and get to open. I probably just open grow so Shmoo doesn't block me, I guess. But I think it is sadly one more cow here. Sadly a cow, just because then it gives me the food. Next round has to be consultant. Could be 2 stone. It's not 2 stone. It's never 2 stone. Never is 2 stone. What am I doing with 2 stone? I mean, if I didn't build the hearth, I guess I was stone ovening, but I'm doing nothing with 2 stone. It absolutely can't be that. I'm going to take the cow. You think 2 stone was better? You think 2 stone into stone oven was better? That could be. That could very well be true. But I do have extra food. This is useful long term, right? I have tons of extra cows now. But maybe yeah, whatever. I've already done this. I have to follow it up with this. This is the only way this works. So, hey Gordon. Shmoo is just gonna reno sleeping corner, so I like that. Shmoo is getting stables. I mean, Shmoo's game looks very good. 2 stone's better than hearth. Fair enough. 2 stone into reno hearth. Oh, 2 stone into Reno Hearth. Yeah. This is going to be the best consult of all time. Yeah. With Shmoo having Sleeping Corner, beating him looks hard. Yeah, totally agreed. I mean, he hasn't played Sleeping Corner, though, actually. But I have to assume he has the Sleeping Corner. I passed it in the draft. Who has Sleeping Corner if it's not him? But maybe he's debating if he should Fireplace and then Sleeping Corner. I don't know what he's considering. No, yeah, okay, it is Sleeping Corner. Yeah, I think Shmoo's probably winning this, but I can at least still fight for second place here. Second place is meaningful and matters. 2 stone into Reno Hearth, though, that does sound pretty. That sounded slick, but I didn't do it, so sorry, team. It's my bad. Plow Driver for Bulldozer is what? Plow Driver, Trowel, we get 2 fields, foreign aid, okay. So, I mean, picking Plow Driver over some of the cards I passed, reasonable. But what a wild one. Get a Sheepwalker down, okay. Well, I'm going first or second. But what do I actually want to do next round the most? Okay, I am just staying start. I guess I just grow. Make sure Shmoo doesn't block me on grow. I have to grow as part of my path to victory. Going second's basically growing first. Yeah, that's with foreign aid, yes. I definitely need a plow action eventually. But do I greed grow into Ak, into veg or SP sleep shifting cultivation? I feel like I hate grow. Plus, so we wheel grow. I agree Shmoo's probably not first action in growing. But I can't plow. Plowsow is not that good for me at the moment. I really want Plowsow next round is the problem. But I think I have to greed Plowsow next round in order to have a shot at winning. And I'm continuing to just try to win. I don't care a lot about everything else. What else is Shmoo doing? That's part of the problem. I don't see why Shmoo doesn't just block me on grow. Shmoo's going to take 3 stone for the Reno. Yes, that's fair, actually. Shmoo's going to take 3 stone to Reno. I'd get in the Reno fight. But I just don't think I care about Plowsow. I think I passed Plowsow to Soulless Robot or whoever. Maybe this is crazy, but whatever. I'll be crazy. I'm going to grow into Ak. I'm just going to do the things that I have to do to have a chance at winning. And I very well may still be losing, but I don't look like competition to him. That's fair. I'm gonna continue though. Just like, what else am I supposed to do? I feel like if I plow sow this round, it's not necessarily. I feel like I have to almost get plow sow next round to have a shot at winning. You think I should just take the plow action because it's too. Now I'm forcing myself too much later. Fair enough. Why not both? Again, I could plow sow plus grow this round, probably plus Ock. The scary thing about going plow sow grow Ock is I might not get Ock. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You don't see a path to victory. I think that's probably the case. So then I guess the point is I should just be plowing in order to make sure I get second. Thanks, Gordon, but that's incredibly improbable. Shmoo is getting 4 stables. Shmoo is getting the Ranch Provost points then because of that. Which, by the way, I have Ranch Provost points at the moment that are absolutely going away. Is Animal Reeve already counted for Shmoo? Not fully, because Shmoo doesn't have 4 sheep. But Shmoo does already have 3 points of Animal Reeve. But I also have 3 points of Ranch Provost that don't exist. But I have no points of Animal Reeve showing up, so that part's actually true. But regardless, we will eat this cow at the moment, and we're going to Ock because it's mandatory. And eating the cow is fine because hay dryer. So let's do our mandatory stuff. The world's most important consultant. Boom. Okay. All right. All that's out of the way at least. That feels good. Do push-ups. Oh my gosh, push-ups. All right. Shmoo gets his stables in. So this is where we lose our Ranch Provost points. I assume Shmoo's going to put 2 stables and 1 pasture to set up for Ranch Provost. Bulldozer's still probably going to fence huge eventually, but we'll see. I have 4 beer table and 3 animal reeve to gain, and a 3-point. It's close. You think the 4 incoming stables of the growth for Shmoo is too much? I agree. I think Shmoo has too much, right? I think Shmoo's getting there because Shmoo is also breeding a decent number of points, and yeah, this. But maybe if somebody somehow beats the 16 pasture, right? If Bulldozer just fences, well, he also needs stables now. Okay, I probably just take a veg and hope to stay start player. Shmoo is not starting. So is Soulless Robot ever starting for Plow Sow? Even if Bulldozer starts, I get Plow Sow. I think I have to greed this Plow Sow dream and not start player, even though I could play shifting here. I think I have to continue greeding points because then I have a shot. And this is always grow from Shmoo. So I think I have a decent shot at Plow Sow. I could get totally plow blocked this way, admittedly, if Soulless Robot does decide to start. But again, whatever. We're gambling for... We're gambling. We're trying to do our best to give us any chance at all. So... All right. Shmoo didn't wind up taking 3 stone or renovating, by the way. He decided to just go for the max stables. So, but yeah, I mean, Shmoo's already at 42. Has a grow. It's probably Shmoo's game, but I think I still have a pretty clear second then. As Sid's saying, like, all the beer table points coming my way, and the animal reef stuff, and just the breeding points coming my way. All that's pretty good. I mean, Shmoo's breeding quite a few points too, I guess. Because he doesn't have to eat his animals. Like, Shmoo's actually hitting max boar points this game. That's pretty sweet. And, yeah, and max cow points. Yeah, Shmoo actually has crazy animal points still coming in. Has 4 more animal points to 46. Animal Reeve takes him to 48. Grow takes him to 51. He might still get Stone into Reno, because who's stopping him? I guess it would be me who's stopping him, but that doesn't seem likely. Bulldozer's feeding is trash. Soulless Robot still had to grow. Okay, well, the good news is Soulless Robot's not starting for... Oh, Soulless Robot doesn't care about Plow Sow. Okay, we get Plow Sow team. That's the good news. How do we feed next round? We eat cows. The answer is we eat cows. We have 2 hay dryer cows and 2 cows breeding. Oh, we can only eat 1 cow. We eat a cow and then we eat raw grain. I can eat 1 cow. I can eat 1 cow. Hay dryer still is giving me 2 cows, and I'm still breeding 2 cows, and I still have 8 cows. So I have 1 extra cow. But yeah, our food's a little bit of a problem. But I do have 1 cow to eat still, which is a big help on how we're feeding. The answer might just be we're eating a bunch of raw grain at that point, or we eat the extra veggie because we're getting plauso. We have plauso absolutely locked up now. So yeah, we can eat a veg too. So like, it's not great. And again, it's where like ultimately, as I just did Shmoo's point count, right? Shmoo's like a clear low 50s. What is that grain on my card? It's a sown grain. Field caretaker counts as a field. So I'm harvesting 4 grain here. Yeah, it's a field caretaker. It's useful. It's nice. Boom, beer table. Have some food, hungry players. Soulless Robot's also very hungry. I missed that. All right. Do we have any risk of losing to Soulless Robot still, by the way? Soulless Robot has a huge Reno because of Wood Slide Hammer. But Soulless Robot gets a huge Reno and then does nothing, so don't care. Bulldozer did wind up fencing, gets another plow. That takes them to 35. Their food still absolutely sucks in the final round. We dreamed that Bulldozer gets a stable and takes... Well, we want him to get 2 stables, actually, to take the points away from Shmoo. Shmoo can't stable block. Alright. Bulldozer... Yeah, our dream is that Bulldozer goes for Ranch Provost. Bulldozer takes 3 wood, builds 2 stables. Whether or not that'll actually happen, we'll see, but that's got to be part of our dream in order to beat Shmoo. But realistically, we probably just have a clear second place here, and that's fine. Our mid game was awkward. Our food's always been a little awkward. Bulldozer has so many 2-point actions. Yeah, like the chance that Bulldozer actually takes away Ranch Provost is unlikely, but 3 wooded to 2 stables is a 5-point sequence for us. Oh, yeah, actually, that's a good point, Gordon. I mean, I have to open Plauso, but yeah, that is useful. Also, I mean, Shmoo is going to try to renovate, but I can also take a stone pile and renovate if I get stone in front of Shmoo. But we'll see what happens here. Like, Shmoo has a bunch of points. I have points. Like, I got to open Plauso because of Plow Hero. And all the reasons, actually, too. Just sowing the grain's too good. But yeah, this is good at least. Shmoo probably opens stone. I agree. Shmoo's supposed to just open stone. At which point I probably have to grow next action though then, because otherwise Shmoo should block me at this point then. Oh, also we have raw grain to eat. I missed the fact that we do have like 2 grain we can eat also, which is useful. Shmoo has our farm but better. Yeah, I mean that's true. He has exactly what we're doing. The upshot is that we have a beer table and he has a negative point, but yeah, I mean it is pretty funny, you're right. Shmoo and I are rocking the small families or small houses. It is fun to watch that the small houses are winning this game by quite a lot, but Animal Reeve is pretty warping in that regard. Animal Reeve so rewards animal stuff. Their farm stinks. I mean, I agree. I mean, Shmoo's farm literally has a cesspit on it. Like, just imagine the smell. Who would want to go to Shmoo's farm? Anyhow, Shmoo is deciding what to do here, which is interesting. I don't totally know what he's considering. Like, it feels like Stone... Oh, he can't quite Reno Joinery. That's the real dream for Shmoo, but... I'm up a point right now. Okay, but he's up in action. Blocking grow might be relevant for Shmoo. Yeah. Cesspits for substantial improvement. That's fair. That's actually totally fair, Gordon. You're right. Yes, he's up in action. Yeah, I mean, again, I think Shmoo wins this, right? I'm also, am I like totally? I'm not fed without eating points, right? That's the other problem. Like, I'm eating a cow, and I'm eating a point of veg, and then I have grain at least, but I'm eating a point of my score, so I'm actually not up. Whereas Shmoo is just perfectly fed. Shmoo's also breeding too. Oh, I'm breeding. I currently have 2 points of breeding. I see what you're saying. So that part we're tied. But Shmoo does decide to take the stone, though. I think that's the right move. He locks in his Reno. I will grow, and then I guess we'll see what I do. Funny that nobody wants plow in the final round. Actually, did I have to open plow? I basically had to open plow so because the so was too important to me, and because of stupid plow hero. But plow heroes cost us here. 3 wood into stables. You think? I mean, 3 wood into stables is very valuable, right? I guess I have to do it. 3 wood. I mean, I want this grow, but Shmoo's gonna block me on grow. It's because Plow Hero effing sucks. Indeed, it does. If we didn't have Plow Hero, we would have been saved here. I guess 3 wood into stables is good here. Soulless Robot technically could stable on us. No, grow first and then 3 wood. Okay, we gotta go for the whole. We gotta go for the whole dream. Fair enough. Shmoo takes a veg. Oh, that's a 2-point move for Shmoo still. Well, that's not good. I don't like Shmoo having 2-point moves still. I also don't like that Soulless Robot could build a stable. It doesn't seem to be worth it much to them, but I just don't like it. Soulless Robot's actually getting some Animal Reef points, which is wild. Oh, okay. So it's a half-timbered house, not a luxurious hostel, not a mason. Oh yeah, because it was Plow Driver, not mason. Okay, half-timbered house is part of what we were after. Fair enough. Yeah, 3 wood into 2 stables is the dream. I mean, it's the only way that I possibly win, so... Come on, Soulless Robot, don't be soulless. Don't be a jerk. I mean, Shmoo's still winning this anyhow, right? Shmoo takes stone here in Reno's joinery. Oh no, he has to grow. Yeah, Shmoo's just Reno in with... I don't know what. Luckily, it's not a joinery. It's probably a fireplace, though. Reno fireplace into grow. Shmoo still has 1,000,000 points. Yeah, it's too much, right? But whatever, we're having a great game here, too. This was fun. This worked out. Recycled brick. Okay, well that's actually baffling. That makes no sense. What am I missing, team? Did Shmoo just forget that he could build a fireplace and actually get a point? I think Shmoo just forgot he could actually earn a point, but okay. We get to tie Ranch Provost. Team, there's actually hope. There's actually hope. Shmoo might have just thrown. What a world. Shmoo has the occupation major improvement avoider. It is fun that Shmoo has done very well with no majors, but Shmoo is just breeding 2 points, right, to 56. I'm breeding 2 points to 53. I get Animal Reeve to 55. I Beer Table to 57, but I eat a point to 56. Yeah, we're tied. Shmoo does still win this on tiebreak. So he didn't quite throw. Didn't quite throw hard enough. Shmoo has tiebreaker by 1,000,000. Still a throw in your opinion? I mean, that's fair. Why did he tie instead of just beating me? I agree. Like he left a point on the table. Like this is a point. Like what are we doing? Tiebreak is for the weak. Should have just won outright. I agree with that largely. Like you should just win. So maybe they're flexing. He calculated that I couldn't catch him, and so he knew he could play recycled brick and then win without majors. I mean, that's possible actually. It is conceivable that that's what actually happened, but pretty bold. Okay, we have one cow we can eat. We can't eat the pig, even though I kind of want to, but I need four of each animal. So then it looks like, yeah, I gotta eat this and two grain, and we have 8 grain left after all this, so that part's good. We still maxed grain points. Yeah, this is as good as we can do. Close one. All right, good game. All right, well, can't feel too bad. Can't feel too bad about a 56. I mean, the 56 is kind of asterisk, right? Because we're getting 3 points of Ranch Provost and 5 points of Animal Reeve, so we're getting 8 bonus points from other players' cards. Um, so that's definitely a bit weird, but still, don't feel bad about a 56, especially when other people are putting up 43s and 45s. This is an interesting game for Bulldozer. Like, there's some cool stuff here, but like, I kind of always like throwing Ranch Provost into the world is always a little scary. It's a little interesting to me that Bulldozer committed to this foreign aid with this hand. Like, this is not a hand where I would commit to foreign aid or small animal breeder. Um, yeah, I don't. To be honest, I don't quite understand why Bulldozer doesn't have some of the cards I have, but whatever. But feel pretty good about that. What went wrong for Bulldozer? Um, I mean, partly his food. I mean, Bulldozer never got great food. I mean, I'll go back to that round where I thought Bulldozer, instead of taking the reed, should have just gone Hearth and taken the sheep stack. I don't really know why Bulldozer doesn't have a Hearth this game. I think that would have solved a lot of Bulldozer's problems. I like his feeding's pretty inefficient. He couldn't grow that fast. Half timber. I mean, this chimney sweep is good, I guess. The trowel's good. The half timber. I mean, there's some obvious interesting stuff. This plow driver's only 2 fields, or was it 3? I mean, ultimately, the real answer is, though, Bulldozer has no farm, right? I mean, Bulldozer has no animals, like virtually no crops. Like, I mean, you can try to win a game by just, yeah, building tons of stealing, but I guess the animal reeve is part of what went wrong for Bulldozer, right? I mean, the game looks a lot closer if an animal reeve doesn't exist. But even then, I don't have a great answer. I mean, I guess the guy in front of him built a million rooms and he wanted to be the only guy going for growth. But um you don't think Bulldozer prioritize wood appropriately after growing to 4? I completely agree with that too. I think that's part of it. Bulldozer decided to prioritize a 5th room and decided to prioritize all this stone. And now Bulldozer needed stone for half timbered and these big dreams, but he saw Animal Reeve during the mid game, and he knows there's a Ranch Provost. So there's so much value in just gathering the wood and fencing, but Bulldozer chose to take like 3 stone over 4 wood multiple times. So I agree that also just seems like a pretty big mistake in a game where there's so much value to the other stuff. But I mean, I'd also argue that, I mean, we could look at Bulldozer's draft, but I don't really like small animal breeder. The foreign aid's okay, but There was a time where we thought. I mean, Sid thought he was ahead when he got to grow to 4, right? He got to grow second and fourth because Soulless Robot let him grow, but it's again, it's a lot of what you do after you grow. So after he grew, he failed to like feed particularly efficiently. So that really negates some of the advantage of growing. And then he also just didn't contest what really mattered. He let me take big wood actions, and that allowed me to fence on time and then actually get animal reef points, which is a thing Bulldozer failed to do. Bulldozer failed to get enough wood in order to contest the ranch provost he put into play. Um, he like when you see a ranch provost and an animal reef on the board, I think you just gotta prioritize the wood. You don't you have this half timbered dream, but the half timbered stuff can come later. It can't win the game on its own, right? Not in an animal reef ranch provost game. I think you have to take the wood and then worry about the other stuff. Bulldozer decided to prioritize the big house stuff, and I think that's probably the mistake, but I did get a lot of forward actions that I shouldn't have got. I don't I was obviously surprised because I kept saying that the wood was gonna go, and then I was getting forward. His fifth room was weird. The fifth room was weird too. He could have just skipped half timber to the fifth room, run out of the chimney and plow driver and swapped. I agree with all of that too. I just don't think his fifth family member gave him much, especially when his feeding was so iffy. He also didn't get to grow into that fifth family member till round 12, right? Because of Soulless Robot's positioning. He grew into it in 13 even. Okay. Yeah, so I mean the fifth room's very not important then also. Like I agree. He could have done some other stuff, but anyhow, Shmoo, welcome. I left, but why did you not build fireplace? We were surprised about that. Then we figured you tied and it was still fine. But yeah, you left a point on the table. I think you renoed a recycled brick that you didn't need to, when you could have just renoed a fireplace. Now you did unlock the achievement, no major improvements. So again, if it was a flex, congrats. You just blanked. Okay, that's fair. Regardless, yeah, cool game from you. So. Okay, Bulldozer first picks a plow driver with a trowel. I actually am willing to accept that. I think hay dryer is probably slightly better than plow driver, but when you see a skillful renovator that maybe comes back and you can take a trowel with a first pick plow driver, there's a lot of ways plow driver goes very well. So this is a reasonable pick. I mean, hay dryer very good, but plow driver with trowel is pretty nutty. So. Also, where did the luxurious hostel wind up? I still thought somebody was going for this at various points during the game. Oh, you can only get one point for your stone house though. Maybe Bulldozer had a half timbered. We'll find out. I'm curious. I'm partly curious why I wound up with a basket weaver. Okay, we second pick chimney sweep out of this very good pack. I don't think I agree with chimney sweep here. If you have a half-timbered house, I'm very tempted by furniture. I think basket carrier is very strong when you need a bunch of reed. I mean, you have to find the food for it, but admittedly, you don't need plowmaker at all. Chimney sweep's cute, though. I mean, it does give you some of the stone you need to reno, and you want some stone help. I'm just not that big of a chimney sweep fan, but it's probably fine here. But it does help to start explain why I got so much really good stuff. Getting past Plow Hero here, because Plow Driver, and then he takes Small Animal Breeder for some extra feeding help. Yeah, okay. Makes enough sense, actually. This draft doesn't quite break the ways he wants to. Seeing multiple Plow cards after you first pick a Plow Driver is sad, but it happens. You would always take basket carrier there. Half timbered so anti-synergistic with. I mean, I agree with that. The pack was stacked. Yeah, I mean, some of these packs were wild, right? My opening pack kind of sucked, but some of these packs were absolutely nutty. Oh yeah, we have a seducer with our plow driver. I mean, not that we have a great way to use this seducer, so whatever. But we also have foreign aid. Yeah, I agree. I like 3-room plow driver games, right? They're just so slick. I would have. I wouldn't quite draft this way either, but basket carrier is so strong. I mean, I agree, right? My basket carrier was very good, and I only used it 3 harvests. Like, I wound up not even using some of the reed. I mean, yeah, basket carrier did a lot for me, but so weird. Seducer sit on the bench. Yeah, I just don't think seducer's that good. I used it for. I don't think I did use it for. I only used it for the first 3 harvests, and then I let it go because I didn't have the food anymore. But I didn't really need it anymore. But yeah, I only used it 3 times, and I only actually used the first read because then my game was only 3 read game, and I took 2 early RSFs. So like basket cur I think was still quite good for me, even though it was only 3 wood, 3 grain, and 1 read effectively. But I mean, it obviously could have been. It could have been much more meaningful too, depending on how the game breaks. Like if we didn't have a bunch of players that wanted to build a bunch of rooms for whatever reasons, like I did have some lines where I built the 4th clay room, but it just never really hit. I never quite got my food going. I mean, the tough part about basket carrier is that it is very food intensive and it's hard to feed entirely off the clay oven. Um, I really do wonder if I was supposed to find a time to just take the fireplace earlier in the game in the big sheep stack or something else, but I don't know if that actually works for me or not either. So, oh well. I still am very surprised that Bulldozer didn't build a hearth though. Like I'm looking at this hand. I totally understand how you're planned a small animal breed and foreign aid for like the first 2 stages. Fine. But your end game plan cannot be to just drift net boat your food. You gotta have better food figured out. Like paying for plow driver and a big family, you gotta have another food source. But oh well. It was unfortunate not to get to BMW. Yeah, I mean, I never really timed or prioritized it, but yes, basket carrier obviously wants BMW. That would have also solved a lot of my problems. But in round 6, when he took both clay stacks, that was interesting. Yes, I totally agree with that too, Shmoo, right? He chose not to fight for first growth, even though he played foreign aid. Fine. But he took both clay stacks, and then he never followed it up with a hearth or taking the sheep. I really thought during one of the kind of middle rounds he was going to build hearth, take the sheep, but then you ultimately wound up with the. I guess the problem is if he tried to hearth into sheep, you always could have taken the sheep and salted them. I guess that's what he was afraid of, and ultimately you did take the sheep and salt them. So maybe that doesn't work. He still needed a hearth long term though. Like this just doesn't work. But oh well, we're also like focusing on his game perhaps a bit too much. But anyhow, Shmoo did a really nice game. Glad our game worked out. It was a fun one. A lot of good players, a lot of tough spots. Yeah, first picking an Animal Reeve. Animal Reeve, yeah, first picking Animal Reeve cesspit. Gotta like that. I mean, wood slide can be strong, but you gotta find the right support for it, and there's no guarantee you're gonna get it here. So yeah, cesspit, Animal Reeve, which by the way, your plowmaker into cesspit is yeah, that's Lumen called the cesspit pretty quickly, and yeah, it was definitely cool. Yeah, Animal Reeve, cesspit, sleeping corner. Yeah, me passing that sleeping corner is so good. Yeah, you stole the play from Lumen stream. Nice. Animal Reeve is quite a bit stronger than Old Constable. Totally agreed. Yeah, Animal Reeve is very good. The fact that you revealed Animal Reeve in the mid game is actually it's probably correct because it was useful for you, and you revealed it at a time where it was like you obviously had it and everything, but it's scary to put Animal Reeve into the game. You needed the wood defense. Okay, yeah, and that's what I mean. Like I kind of sensed whenever you did it that it was probably fine, but yeah, having a totally hidden Animal Reeve is definitely fun. The only reason I'm competitive with you is because I knew to fight for Animal Reeve, right? Like, if I don't know, although I probably wind up with, well, I don't know if I wind up with animals because I might not prioritize taking the pigs. If you have a hidden Animal Reeve, I don't know if I open round 12 with 2 pigs. But otherwise, I mean, actually, my game's not really changed. But oh well. Yeah, exactly. I think the only difference is I might not take boar in 12, but otherwise my game's actually very similar because I'm always gonna try to fence fairly on time for hay dryer, and I'm pretty much always playing consultant. So Which, what a cool consultant for me, the world's greatest consultant. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but yeah, taking the Plowmaker here for the cesspit. Who cares about Furnisher? Screw these other cards, yeah. No, yeah, this is good stuff. 3-field rotation. Yeah. Yep, good stuff. Okay. Anyhow, that was good. All. I will likely stream some more during this weekend and early next week. I got some free time and not a ton of plans, so we'll see. But anyhow, I'm gonna head off for now. I assume part of the reason that I already lost a bunch of viewers is that I always do when I blab at the end, because who cares? But I'm assuming also Lumen is streaming, and indeed he is. So let's all go catch up. Let's all go raid Lumen's Agricola stream. I will see you all there, where hopefully Lumen's having a good game. We'll go get to watch another cool Agricola game. See if Lumen can pull it through on this Friday. Thanks, Shmoo, for a good game and a little bit of chat at the end. Thanks all for hanging out and chatting. It's been a good one. But yep, I'll see you all around. Later.